Oh, I thought we were... Are we starting? Now at 9, new information on the future of Northside Middle School. Just ahead, find out how much longer the school will remain open. And they got her, dude. Former Full House actress Lori Loughlin among those named in the college admissions scheme. The latest on the investigation next.
I have warmer weather and some gusty winds coming in, all in my full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marley Thomas. And I'm Camille Breck. Our top story tonight, school leaders are discussing plans for next school year. And tonight, the university-owned middle school will be open for another year. When Muncie Community Schools were led by a state emergency management team, Ball State purchased Northside Middle School. The contract states that MCS can continue to operate the middle school for the next 5 years. The cost is $1 per year. Despite conversations about what the right size is for the school district, the board approved the lease for another year tonight.
In fact, we're looking to grow the district in terms of student population.
If Northside had closed, the district would have gone down to only one middle school, Southside. We will continue to update you on Muncie Community Schools on NewsLink Indiana and at ballstatedaily.com. Developing tonight, Hollywood stars, CEOs, elite college coaches, and college prep executives are just some of the individuals accused of carrying out a nationwide scheme to help students gain admission to some of the nation's top colleges and universities. Several defendants appearing in federal court today as all of the pieces of this elaborate conspiracy came to light. Kristen Holmes has the latest on this developing story.
Operation Varsity Blues.
We're here today to announce charges in the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice.
A massive FBI investigation coming to a head. The Justice Department charging 50 people in an elaborate scheme aimed at securing admission to prestigious universities.
We have charged 3 people who organized these scams, 2 SAT or ACT exam administrators, 1 exam proctor, 1 college administrator, 9 coaches at elite schools, and 33 parents.
Among the parents charged are several notable names, including CEOs, a fashion designer, and actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, who was arrested in Los Angeles. Much of the indictment revolves around a man named William Singer, the founder of a college preparation business. The scam worked in 2 ways, through test scores and athletics. In some cases, parents allegedly paying for third parties to take ACT and SAT exams on behalf of their children. In others, Singer contacted college coaches to help students gain admission as recruited athletes, regardless of their athletic ability.
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
William Rick Singer pleaded guilty to charges including racketeering conspiracy, money laundering, tax conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. He faces up to 65 years in jail and more than $1 million fine. The Indiana State Police Pendleton District announced a sobriety checkpoint will be held somewhere in Delaware County during the evening of Friday, March 15th. It's part of this month's campaign, Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. That runs through March 24th. Motorists entering the checkpoint are asked to have their driver's license and vehicle registration readily available. Indiana State Police will also conduct random saturation patrols and sobriety checkpoints throughout the state this month. So I'm really looking forward to the warm weather coming up. It's slowly but surely starting to get a little warmer out. So Jordan, what can you tell us?
I can tell you guys today was definitely above average. We did, most of the area did flirt with 50 degrees. Well, we got to 50 degrees here in Muncie, 51 degrees down in Terre Haute, 51 degrees in Bloomington, and 49 degrees in Indianapolis. But currently across the state, we're seeing 43 degrees in Indianapolis, 38 degrees in Kokomo, and 45 degrees in Bloomington. The big story is we might have some rain coming in tonight and into tomorrow. Most of this is going to disintegrate or evaporate by the time it hits the lower levels of the atmosphere because it is quite dry down there. But coming into tomorrow morning, it should be moist enough in the lower levels that we should see some of this rain fall all the way through. That being said, for my full weather, we have tracking some rain and storms coming in Wednesday into Thursday. Winds that definitely won't be stopping on Thursday into Friday. And winter's not done yet. It's coming back for another fight. Back to you guys.
President Donald Trump issued a series of tweets Tuesday blaming technology for making air travel less safe. References referring Sunday's deadly crash in Ethiopia. Trump wrote airplanes are becoming far too complex to fly. The incident marks the second time in 6 months one of Boeing's 737 MAX 8 planes has crashed shortly after takeoff. Trump appears to be echoing concerns those crashes may have been caused by automated safety features in the aircraft. He deplored advances in aviation, adding, "I don't want Albert Einstein to be my pilot." Investigators have not yet determined what caused the planes to crash. Almost all experts agree technological advances have made air travel much safer overall in recent decades. 2 banks involved with dealing with the Trump administration are under investigation and were issued written orders Monday from the New York Attorney General office. The New York Times issued report states that investigators reportedly requested documents from Deutsche Bank related to Trump-owned hotels in Washington, Miami, and Chicago. Records show the German bank has lent more than $300 million to the Trump organization, which also is one of the few large banks willing to give money to the company. This investigation is a direct result of Michael Cohen's congressional testimony last month, where the president's former lawyer testified Trump knowingly inflated the values of his assets. The New York Times is also reporting investigators bank headquartered in New Jersey, which was also issued a written order for records relating to Trump Park Avenue. One company project is bringing people together just ahead how people around the world are connecting. Plus, Volkswagen is introducing a new car. The details after the break.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone? No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. A generous community project is celebrating the citizens of Muncie in a creative way. A street art duo came to Muncie with one goal: to create murals that connect cities with its people. Victoria Eidelstein and Matt Litwin's main focus is to give back to communities around the world. They believe that art can bring a community together to celebrate diversity within its local residents. The pair started their project in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Artist Victoria Eidelstein says that the murals help people get to know one another.
Thinking nobody really knows each other that well, and there's people from very different backgrounds, and we thought it could be a good way to make each other respect each other more, you know.
This project is free and open for all Muncie residents to participate. To apply, visit plyspace.org/faceme por favor. And March is the month we celebrate Disability Awareness Month. Ball State University's Alliance for Disability Awareness kicked off their first event tonight with Game Night. The game night consisted of Uno, Scrabble, and Rummy. These games were large print, braille, and had other features to accommodate everyone's needs. All events are open to Ball State students. ADA's President and Vice President Devin Suman and Savannah Bassett are excited to bring awareness to the 1,300 students with disabilities on Ball State's campus every day.
I want to show people that we are not different than you. We are just the same. We want to be treated equally.
Hopefully people will come in and they'll be able to explore more, ask questions that they have, and just, have an open mind and willing to connect with us.
They will be holding different events all month. The schedule can be found on Ball State's website under events. A consumer alert for you tonight. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced nearly 3,000 pounds of microwavable Chef Boyardee products are being recalled. The products are being recalled because of mislabeling and unlisted allergens. The products are labeled chicken and rice, but they actually contain beef ravioli. As a result, they may contain milk and wheat that is not listed on the label. The products, produced and packaged in mid-January, were sent to stores in Florida, Kentucky, and New York. The USDA says so far no one has reported getting sick from them. People who bought them are urged not to eat them, but to throw them away or return them to where they bought them. And Volkswagen is boosting the number of electric cars it plans to build. The German car maker planned to build 50 and sell 15 million of them over the next 10 years. Now the company says it will produce 70 gas-free models and sell 22 million of them. The company is taking a short-term hit for what it hopes are long-term gains. It's absorbing an almost 4% hike to R&D costs that are putting a drag on profits. Volkswagen also owns Audi and Porsche. Looking for a new bike for your kids? Harley-Davidson is looking to attract younger customers. The motorcycle giant is buying the company Stacy C, which is the first powered two-wheel bikes for kids. You can find these in two different models, the 12E Drive, which is perfect for 3 to 5-year-olds, and the 16E Drive for 5 to 7-year-olds with a little more experience. These little vehicles max out at roughly 10 miles per hour and cost between $650 to $700. Harley-Davidson hopes these electric bikes will redeem the drop in old-fashioned bikes. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have some nice weather to go out on a bike ride? Jordan, what do you have for us?
Yeah, it will be a nice time to go on a bike ride, but there are chances of we can see greater than 60-degree temperatures and wind speeds of greater than 5 times the speed of that bike. All coming up after the break.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Now, we did see a little bit of sunshine today, but it was still pretty kind of chilly.
Yeah, I still had to wear my winter coat, but please tell me I can put it away soon, Jordan.
Oh yeah, you can definitely put it away. But you know, this time of year is great because it warms up so quickly and it feels so nice that you can just downgrade that winter jacket. But today it was nice and sunny throughout the day. To start off, but clouds did move in, as we can see through our time lapse up in the sky. It gradually clears up, and then the clouds do build back in, and those clouds definitely build back in coming around 5-6 o'clock. But going ahead to your current temperatures, we are seeing around a temperature of about 44 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at 3 miles an hour. It's feeling quite light. Still feels like 44 degrees, which is quite nice for this time of year for the low. But today we saw a high of 50 degrees, and the average high this time of year is 47. But the record high was set back in 1990 at 76 degrees. But your March in review, March 1st, we see an average high of about 43 degrees, average low of about 25. On March 31st, we see a 12-degree uptick in those average high temperatures at a high of 55. Also, March is the sunlight time of the year. We gain an hour and 22 minutes of sunlight, and you can definitely notice that now that daylight savings time has gone and passed. As for saying, radar though, with the clouds building in, it won't seem like that. Just come tomorrow morning, the rain is starting to move in, but it is evaporating as its lower levels of the atmosphere are trying to moisten up so we can get more rain to fall. The bigger story though is we have this big expansive low pressure developing out near the Rockies, out near Kansas, and this will bring us some heavy gusty winds, I should say, and multiple rounds of rain Wednesday and into Thursday. But looking at high temperatures throughout, you see about 8 a.m. tomorrow, you can start to see a little surge, but 2, 3, 4 o'clock, look at how all those high temperatures come up. Those are temperatures that are in the upper 50s to lower 60s, and that's going to feel absolutely nice for this time of the year, that's for sure. Come into though Thursday, you see another surge, but you can definitely see a cold front is on its way, going to bring us some more cloudy and maybe some storms. But if you see 60s in March, normally it's not a good sign because we do really see some violent weather come around. We're under a marginal risk for severe weather for Thursday, and this is mainly a wind threat. But because of how gusty it could be and how long these winds will stick around, I have upgraded the as I said, light risk, but I've upgraded the wind risk to about a 3, as we can see multiple gusts of wind constantly for several hours before the storms come in and a little bit afterwards. So these damaging winds will definitely be the story. Breaking down your Wednesday though, it'll be mainly cloudy, but then once the atmosphere has been moistened up, the rain will get here by 8, 9 o'clock. And coming in to Thursday, we see these line of showers develop, push in through Muncie about then. This is when we'll definitely see our severe weather threat be at its highest, and then the cold air comes in, it gets quite dry, but then it'll definitely be better. For tonight though, see a high or a low of 40 degrees with winds out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. For the bus stop forecast though, I'll give us about a 40% chance of rain at 8 a.m. with a high or a low around 42 degrees. By the time the kids go to the bus stop, about 62 degrees, and the sun will be peeking out as well. For tomorrow though, it's going to look great. High of 63 degrees with winds out of the south-southeast at 11 to 17 miles an hour. 7-day forecast is looking great for Thursday, that is. High of about 69 degrees, but it will be windy throughout most. Friday, the temperatures take a dip, and we start to see temperatures fall on Saturday to the upper 30s, but it becomes dry after Saturday, and we hover around the upper 40s to low 50s throughout most of the day, or most of the next week, I should say.
Wow, so I feel like once we have some warmer weather, then it goes right back to cold, and we just keep going back and forth.
Yep, that's March, but April it's going to be looking a whole lot better. So.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Jordan. And joining us now is Blake with sports. Blake, what do you have for us?
Well, coming up in sports, we're going to discuss the Ball State basketball win from yesterday, moving on to the quarterfinals in the Mid-American Conference tournament. We'll also have a little bit on the baseball season, which kicks off tomorrow. We'll have that and more when we come back.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero.
Oh,
after all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Blake Dahlier with sports. As reported last night on NewsLink Indiana, the Ball State men's basketball team took the win over Eastern Michigan in round 1 of the MAC tournament. The strong second half defense led to last night's 61-43 win. On the offensive end, Tajay Teague scored 13 of his game-high 15 points in the second half. Ishmael Elamine and Taylor Persons each added 12. 11 of Persons' 12 points came in the final 5 minutes of play to advance them to the MAC tournament quarterfinals. Assistant coach Ben Botts says that the Cardinals could not be more excited to head to Cleveland for the 3rd straight year.
This time of year is really exciting. Everybody's playing to, get to the big dance, and our guys are fully invested in that. They're playing hard and playing together, and it's great to get another opportunity at it on Thursday.
The Cardinals will take on the number 3 seeded Bowling Green Falcons at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, Thursday evening at 9. And the women's basketball season may be over, but the awards for 2 players keep on coming. Ashlyn Brown and Telma Augustdaughter were both given All-MAC honors today. Brown was an All-MAC honorable mention this year after leading the young Cardinal team in scoring, putting up over 12 points a game. Augustdaughter followed in Brown's footsteps, being named to the All-MAC freshman team. She scored in double digits 10 times this season and was second behind Brown for team rebounding. Brown and Augustdaughter are primed to be the centerpieces for next year's team. And the Ball State baseball game scheduled for today has been moved to tomorrow. The Cardinals will take on the Mastodons of Purdue-Fort Wayne in Ball State's opening home game. Ball State stands at 8-8 as they wrapped up their Florida trip, including 2 wins against Notre Dame. Catcher Chase Seaby says the team is excited for their first home game as the weather should be able to make up for the disadvantages of practicing indoors.
Going outside for the first couple weeks is like you're at a disadvantage because all we were doing was staying inside, but now, with the weather getting a little better here, we can finally get that home field advantage.
Admission is free to the Ball State and Purdue-Fort Wayne game. First pitch is at 3 o'clock. And after finishing last week 6-0, the Ball State softball team is bringing home some hardware. Junior outfielder Haley Dominic took home the MAC Player of the Week for the 3rd time in her career. Dominic leads the offense with a .321 batting average this season. Freshman pitcher Sarah Vanker was also named MAC Co-Pitcher of the Week. Vanker held opposing hitters to a .111 batting average and had 15 strikeouts. The Cardinals are returning to action Friday afternoon as they take on Connecticut and South Dakota in the Mercer Bears Classic. First pitch is set for 1:30. Now, lots for Ball State to look forward to coming up ahead in the MAC tournament and baseball season. Really, catching up with us. It's going to be a good time as we kind of get into the next sporting season, transitioning into the spring.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with those spring temperatures coming up too. Thank you so much. A pop culture star is making a difference with her fortune. What this means for one person tonight.
And we're getting a glimpse of a Disney remake. What the popular trailer is making its debut. Trending is next. Stay with us.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Annie Keister. Annie, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, don't say the Kardashians never did anything. Kim Kardashian West announced today that she will be taking justice into her own hands as she helps out one man get back on his feet. Now, you may remember after being resentenced and sent back to prison in 2018, Matthew Charles became eligible for a lighter sentence. This is after a judge ruled his sentencing unfair. Since then, Charles says he could not afford the expensive rent in Nashville and was rejected because of his criminal history. But thanks to Kim K, she will cover his rent for the next 5 years. Charles shared his excitement on Facebook saying, quote, "I just received the most wonderful news tonight. Kim Kardashian West said she heard about my situation and has decided to help me, and to me, in an unbelievable way." And Disney has finally revealed a full-length trailer for its live-action remake of Aladdin. The movie will feature a fan favorite, Will Smith, as the genie, formerly played by the late Robin Williams. The film is rumored to resemble the 1992 plot, but feature a fresher, newer sense of comedy. Disney is still at an uphill battle to beat the initial skepticism of the film and says that the remake could be the biggest risk for Disney this year. Now, we're just a little over 2 months out from the premiere, but fans can decide whether they are behind the remake when Aladdin and Jasmine take flight in May. Now, remaking the classics like that can really be a gamble for people, but even just that slight clip right there, it already brings back so many memories for me.
You're true, and that was a show that I watched growing up, and I don't understand how people could maybe be skeptical about the remake, because I think it's great.
Well, I think that people are mostly afraid that they might, be a bar below what the original was, but I don't see any problem with it. I think that we have a lot of great new After Effects we can use now, and I think I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I wonder if it will be warm enough to go on a magic carpet ride. Jordan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, it'll be warm enough to ride a carpet ride all throughout Wednesday and Thursday, but the carpet might get blown away by Thursday afternoon. So.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.